For taxi elephant Santaya, this day seemed like any other. She would repeat the same monotonous and back-breaking job of carrying tourists on her back. She had absolutely no idea of who she was going to meet today. Elephant rides are a popular tourist activity in Southeast Asia, especially among Western travelers. What most don't realize, however, is the horrible abuse and conditions the elephants often have to endure. It all starts when the elephants are still young. In a practice called fajan, or the crush, elephant calves are tied with ropes and dragged away from their mothers into a special cage. Next, the captors quite literally torture the defenseless young animal in a variety of ways in a bid to break or crush its spirit. These techniques often involve physical abuse, such as beatings, as well as deprivation of food, water, and sleep. This abuse can last for weeks, with most elephants aged just 3 to 6 years old when they undergo the cruel training. Once the handler thinks the elephant is ready and its spirit is well and truly broken, it is released from the cage and given food so that the desperate animal views that person as its liberator. Elephant handlers justify this cruel practice as being an effective way to make captive elephants completely submissive. It's likely that Santaya underwent the same training while she was still young, leaving her psychologically damaged. Indeed, even decades later, in her 50s, Santaya still displays behavior, such as swaying her head back and forth, that suggests she has been mentally and physically tormented. And although the crush is long behind her, elephants such as Santaya still have to endure long days of tiresome labor, and they may still be punished if their owners deem them to have misbehaved. Santaya has worked as a taxi elephant for the past 2 years in Pattaya, a popular resort city on Thailand's south coast. When she wasn't carrying a chair with tourists strapped to her back, she spent her precious moments of peace resting in a cramped makeshift stable. It was here on Saturday, May 1st, 2016, that Santaya's life would change forever. The weary elephant had no idea of the amazing surprise her owners had planned. Catherine Connor, a woman that Santaya had never seen before, walked up and introduced herself by gently petting the elephant's trunk. Connor was here to take Santaya away to an elephant sanctuary. Santaya's owners had contacted Connor when they realized that the elephant was too old to continue her difficult job. Connor's organization, Boonlot's Elephant Sanctuary, BLES, would take the aging elephant to a new home in Ban Tuek, a remote village in northern Thailand. Connor founded BLES back in 2007, naming her organization after a young elephant calf she was unable to save. The sanctuary provides more than 400 acres of forested land for retired and rescued elephants to enjoy the rest of their lives as nature intended. As Connor looked over Santaya's weathered features, it was clear that life had not been easy for the animal. The wounds on her face were characteristic of an elephant that had been abused in its youth, while her skin was dry and cracked. As Santaya's owners said their goodbyes to the gentle giant, it seemed like they truly cared for the animal. They even performed a special blessing ritual to wish her a happy future at the sanctuary. BLES workers carefully guided the weary elephant into a truck. After Santaya had a special frame put around her for the trip, her owner gave her one last goodbye. It was time to go. Given that the trip north would take more than a day, the rescuers made frequent stops to give the old elephant time to rest and eat. They also gave her a jacket to keep her warm during the night. With the tropical sun lighting up the sky the next day, the graceful elephant was finally at the end of her trek. She was welcomed by a group of curious dogs, which, along with many other animals, are also cared for at the sanctuary. To make Santaya's retirement official, Phai Sat, the sanctuary's experienced elephant handler, finally removed the chains that bound her feet. It was an emotional moment for Connor and her mom, who was also involved in the project. Safe at last, Santaya joined her new family of elephants on the sanctuary's grounds, which features banana trees, grasslands, rivers, and even a special pool for the animals to bathe in. she already seems to be making friends with the other elephants. BLES has helped many elephants over the years. Although it is unable to bring all of them to the sanctuary, it does its best to provide medical help for the animals and to educate elephant owners. The organization's ultimate goal is to safeguard and increase the numbers of the Asian elephant, which is currently classed as an endangered species. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with your friends and family. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.